Hey guys, hey. So just wanted to touch this one subject because something is on my mind. I like to talk about it. So I've had people over the last almost 4 years, I'm going on with weight loss surgery, say like, "Oh, since you lost the weight, you're way more confident, or you're this, or you're that." And I generally don't speak on it. I just kind of smirk or laugh or just play it off. But I'm like, somebody said this to me the other day that I'm relatively consider myself close to, and I feel like that person above all should know me. So when they said it, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I, and this is my perspective of myself. I could be wrong because people like to see themselves in a light that is not true, but I've never saw myself in that way, like as this plus size person that walked around with low self esteem and was frumpy and dressed any kind of way. And not saying that against anybody, because if that's who you were, that's who you were. We can't take away from that. But I wasn't that person. For me, and I tell people this all the time, I swear to you, I don't even think I knew I was fat. I can think probably a handful of times where I was like, oh my God, you're this size, because I went clothing shopping. And we all know when you don't shop for a while, when you go and you got to get that next size, you be like, oh shit. Those were the times when I had like a reality check, like, oh, you really did gain weight. Oh, really, you are really plus size. But that for me wasn't my reality. I pretty much always have probably worn shit I ain't had no business, but I felt confident enough to wear it, and it came in my size, and I was gonna wear it. And whoever didn't like it, that was a them problem. So I know this because I've had people come tell my best friend this and say, "Why she got that on? Why you got that on? Because just because you that size, you still look the mess." Because there's some people. But anyway, that's another story. Because some people that said some stuff about me ain't had no business saying nothing because they just didn't. But I won't even address that. But yeah, like that's not my story. And yeah, granted, I know a lot of people who had weight loss surgery. I know people that lost weight naturally. I know people who have gained weight. And we all have a story. But stop saying, oh, once, and this is just not for me. I hear this a lot. Oh, she lost the weight, so she left him. He lost the weight, he left her. Or she did this, now she dressed this. Or she did this, now she thinks she all that. No. And there are some people that, yes, they have gained their confidence or gained the ability to do different things because they feel better about themselves. I can imagine when you don't feel your best, you don't act your best. So it isn't always about the weight gain or the weight that why are they their weight? Because I always say there's an underlying problem here. Now, some people have medical problems, so they gain weight. Some people eat their feelings. Some people, different things cause weight gain. So instead of looking at people, and you're not a psychiatrist, so I don't expect anybody to look at it, but I can see it in that light now. Instead of me saying, oh, now they skinny, whatever, whatever. No, it wasn't even about the weight. It was how they felt about themselves as a whole. So now that they feel better, if their body and their mind is now matching, it gives them we see a different side of them. Probably who they truly may have been all along, but they were going through a phase in their life where they weren't okay. And so people assume that you felt bad about yourself because you were 3, 4, 500 pounds. Maybe if you were 60 or 70 or 150 pounds, you still was going to feel bad about yourself because you were just in a negative space. And as a result of being in a negative space, you gained this weight. And so I really want us to just start really being mindful of the things you say to people because it really can be offensive. Like if one more person say to me, oh, you lost weight, now you dress like this, or you lost weight, now you do this, I'm going to put some before and afters. My appearance really hasn't changed that much when it comes to dressing. Like looking back, I wore short shorts, I wore little dresses, I wore all kinds of shit. So that's not the case. Now, am I more vocal or something? I don't know because I've always been an extrovert. So for me, I don't see a major difference in myself other than I might have matured a little bit. I do see that I'm maturing over, like I'm actually kind of starting to act my age, which is okay, whatever. But yeah, but to say these other things, no. Now, have I seen it in other people where they've gotten their feet and I'm like, okay, their attitude is matching this and this, and they just so happen to be coming together, and it's an amazing thing. But it doesn't always need to be pointed out. You don't have to say like, I have numerous women in our weight loss community who have gained the courage to love their self enough to leave either situations where they're unhappy, abusive, or just not ideal for whatever reason. And the first thing somebody will say is, oh, now she lost all the weight and guys want her. Most women don't have to leave because the guy want them. We first of all probably already left 5, 6, 7 years ago in our mind. So I need you to realize that before most women leave, they have already left. And I literally remember thinking back to when I was dating my daughter's father. It was the first time I had lost weight. I don't remember how much weight I lost back then, but I knew I was well over 200, and I went down to like 190. And I looked really nice. And the first thing somebody was like, oh, she don't want to be with him now. She lost weight. Newsflash. Whether I'm 250 pounds, 275 pounds, or 190 pounds, guys have always tried to talk to me. That's not an issue. Now, I really need people to be a little bit more mindful when they say things, because it's really a backhanded compliment. Like, and the reality is, people do treat you differently when you're plus size, and that's just the sad reality. Like, I have people who have never spoken to me, and people, they be like, "Oh, you don't know who so and so is?" No, because I've never talked to them. But as soon as I started losing weight and different things for whatever reason, they talk to me, and I couldn't. I'm still the same person. I've always been an extrovert. I've always been who I am. So I don't know why all of a sudden, like, now I had started becoming popular, which is insane. Nothing's changed. I'm still me. But the reality is, and study shows, people who are plus size, people who are unattractive, are treated differently. And it's nothing I can do to change that. But for me to be the change I want to see. So I don't not talk to somebody because they're not physically attractive or they're not the ideal size. Like, I just don't do that. Like, because who you are is who you are. If I don't talk to you, it's because you're a shitty person. So that was me just ranting. Nothing real. But yeah, stop telling people now they, like, I don't know. It's just, maybe that's your perception. Your perception is not my reality. Like, let me live my life. Let me just be this size that I am. And I might be fat again next year. At the rate I'm going, I probably will be. But let's just love each other, regardless of what size we are. Okay? Yeah, okay. That was it. All right. I'm going to eat. Yeah, that's what I'm going to eat. I'm hungry.